Hi, Debbie. This is Henry Selick.
Hello, Henry. I am so happy to get to speak with you again. It's been way too long since Coraline.
Yeah, your name was familiar. I wish I saw your face, but not today.
You don't need to see my face. All I know is I saw 30 minutes of Wendell and Wild. Henry, you have only gotten better with age.
Nice of you to say.
I am enthralled with just this first 30 minutes of film. Henry.
Well, I can't wait till you see the whole movie.
Oh, neither can I. I'm already going crazy. As I sent to the publicist, I said, if this were a book, I'd be turning the pages faster than my eyes could read because it's so engaging, so engrossing. Right off the bat, you're hitting us. We've got a diversity of characters. You've got, within the story, themes that are so prevalent and important in today's world. Loss, grief, bullying, friendship, bravery, death, the idea of individuality and inquisitiveness. All of that we see in this first 30 minutes. And you give us Gabby the goat. Come on, Henry.
Yeah. Everyone loves Gabby.
I'm telling you, I want merchandising. I want Gabby merchandising. Telling you right now.
Yeah, I hope they do something. I don't know if Netflix has figured out that aspect of things, but they certainly should.
They darn well should. This is just, I love the darkness that we're seeing initially. And that's what I loved about Coraline as well, was the darkness. But then there's always light that emerges. And I see that here again, not just in the story. I'm hoping for lightness at the end. If I don't get it, I'll still be very happy.
You get some. It's going to be a little more nuanced than the regular animation lightness.
But I love what you do in keeping with this darkness and this mystery and the underworld, and Wendell and Wild, who are they're two wild and crazy guys. I gotta say it. The colors that you use in bringing these worlds to life, the purples, the greens. I love how you chose skirt fabric, uniform fabric for the kids of red and blue, because red and blue, when you mix them on the color wheel, make purple. And we see a lot of purples, and then the darker greens, the grays, just on every level, Henry, the intricacy and that beauty of the stop motion characters and the world and all the little details. You've blown my mind. Where did you start with this? How did you start with this?
Well, it's a long process. You saw the presentation earlier today.
I did not, because I'm not near a computer to zoom in. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then it has the longest gestation period of anything I've worked on, because it actually began the idea 20 years ago when my grown sons were little, when they were like 2 and 8. I did a little sketch of them as demon brothers, because they could be demonic at times and play it up. And from that sketch, I sort of got the idea, like, well, I'm going to write a short story about 2 demon brothers, but not as little kids, as older demons. And I wrote something up, and I didn't know if I was going to try to maybe get it published, a kid's book, or in the New Yorker. But I basically came up with all the same characters, and demons escaping from from hell to, they want to make it big in the land of the living, and Sister Hallie and Kat and Raoul, a couple of name changes or adjustments, Mandrake, the basic idea was there, and then just, sent it out a few places, and no one was interested in publishing it. Just put it away, and then over the years, my manager, who's also a producer on this show, Ellen Goldsmith-Vane, she kept saying, "We got to do something with that. We got to do something with that." And then in 2012, when Keen Peele, their show began on what was it, Comedy Central.
Mm-hmm.
I found out about it. I started watching it. I was dazzled. Their range, their intelligence, their humor. I felt they were the best comedy duo I'd ever seen in my life. And after like two years, I finally said, "Look, I'm going to just reach out to them because they have something I can't do. They have a type of humor. I would love to mix that in one of my projects." So I reached out, and they knew who I was. That's always a good start, and they were interested in doing voice work. But Jordan wanted to do more, so we met, and it turned out he was a huge fan of stop motion animation. He really knew my work, and he wanted to hear my ideas, one in particular, and it was Wendell and Wild. I watched Key and Peele, Wendell and Wild. They became, that could work. So I pitched that idea, and I gave him the pages, and he said, "Look, I don't want to just do a voice. I started a new company, Monkey Paw Productions, and this is my last season on Key and Peele, and we want to do shows like this, but I'd like to be involved as a producer and a writer." And I was, super happy. So we ended up getting together and working things out. He made some very strong and really smart suggestions on changing things, about what characters would do. And then that inspired me to sort of root this, what is it, a comedy, horror, fantasy drama? I don't even know what you call this film, but, what genre it fits in. But it inspired me to sort of give some weight to some of the things and figure out, who are the real villains going to be. But we were really good collaborators. And we moved along, and then he had to go shoot his first movie. And then he's terrified it's going to fail in the box office. So we got to go pitch this week. We got to pitch it this week. Wendell Wild, he says, "Because one of my movies is a bomb." I said, "Well, no. If your movie's a bomb, it won't matter if we pitch it this week. And it's not going to be a bomb." Because I knew it was going to be great. And then everything changed. This movie comes out, everyone wants to be in business with Jordan, and we take the project a couple of places, and Netflix was the place that told us what we wanted to hear, which was, we don't just develop things. If we like you and we like your project, we will find a way to make it. So consider our saying yes up front a green light. It may take a few years, and so that's who we went with. And
wow.
From there, it just sort of kept evolving, and hiring artists and finding a look and building a team.
Got to ask you about working with Peter Song, bringing him in as your DP here. He did such great work with the camera lighting on Coraline. So I'm not surprised you brought him back, but I'm curious how the two of you work to develop the visual tonal bandwidth that envelops and blankets this stop motion world.
Peter Sorg is a genius in his way, and he also brings joy. He brings, we basically came up with sort of like, okay, here's some stills from some movies we think are appropriate for this story, and we developed this common language of what we felt was the right look for each time. And at a certain point, you just give someone like that their freedom, because you kind of work it out beforehand, and then it's off the races. But I love Peter Sorg. He did so much and brought so much to Wendell Wild.
Mm-hmm. Well, the look is beautiful, and I know that Jimmy's going to cut us off here, so I hope we get to chat at length when the film is done and I see the entire thing, because I have so many questions about what I've already seen. But
Well, I better hear from you. otherwise, I'll think you didn't like the movie.
Henry, I already love this movie, and I am positive I'm going to love it even more when it's done. Come on, you hired Tantu Cardinal to do voicing. Come on.
Yep.
That made me happy.
Yeah, that was fun.
All of your voicing, lyric is masterful. She really makes Kat pop.
Yeah, she's like the treasure of finding voice, of casting someone who could carry probably the most difficult part.
Yeah, so I look forward to the full film. I can't wait, and we will definitely, if I have to hunt you down, I will do it, and we will talk again about Wendell and Wild.
All right, I look forward to it, Debbie.
Oh, Henry, thank you.
Okay, then. Take care.
But you too. Bye-bye.